Hey there folks, I am the Mighty Plantain. Thanks for checking out this video. We are taking another look tonight at Evan Williams Honey. Now I've done this one on the channel once before, and I noticed some comments started popping up on an older video that said, hey, by the way, they've changed this. And people aren't picking up the honey flavor as much anymore. So I believe the description on the label is the same as the old label. It says Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey blended with honey liqueur and caramel color. 65 proof, 32.5% ABV. I'll have to look that up on the old video and see if it says the same thing. I'm not sure, but hey, feel free to watch them both side by side and find out. But what we're hearing is that the old version had a label that was basically clear and just pasted on here. This is now a paper label with an orange or yellowish orange bottom that natural flavors, warm and rich, chill and enjoy. Now I didn't chill the last one. Made with Evan Williams bourbon. Smooth and flavorful. Honey combines the smooth taste of Kentucky straight bourbon with the sweetest of natural honey. Perfect as a chilled shot on the rocks or mixed. It's all flavor, no sting. Now, here's the question, because people are saying that the flavor is different. I'm wondering if the old one was honey liqueur or if it was just honey. That might be the difference. If it used to be just straight up honey in here and now it's honey liqueur. But I seem to recall that it was honey liqueur before too, so, or just flavoring. So we're going to check this one out and see what we get here. So again, I've seen a couple of different comments and then responses to those comments. We definitely need to see if they've made... Come on, there we go. Because this was a big favorite for some of you folks. And we could be looking at a Sam Adams Boston Lager type situation here where they decided to change it up and in the process ruined it. All right. It's definitely got a harsher, well, again, I thought I had some of the old stuff sitting in the liquor cabinet, but apparently I finished it because it was that good. I don't recall being able to smell the alcohol, the harshness of the alcohol from this far back when I poured the original one. I seem to remember it having a more neutral aroma and being smooth and sweet. But again, I probably should have watched the video just to be able to comment more accurately on that, but I figured it might be better to just hit this with a dry run, just fresh eyes on it without any sort of bias based on the old video. So I don't know, maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I should have watched the old video, but it's definitely got some thickness to it. Got some serious legs, as they say, because it's sticking to the glass quite a bit. It's running down relatively smoothly. It's forming some smaller rivulets, but it's mostly staying uniform up there. It looks sticky. It looks quite sticky. Yeah, again, there's a bit of a... I'm not getting like the roasty or toasty notes that I would expect from a bourbon. I'm basically just getting an alcohol harshness, maybe a tinge of sweetness underneath. But it's definitely taking on more of a caramel, or as some people have noted, a vanilla-like aroma. Again, I don't remember if the original one smelled straight up like honey or not, but I'm definitely not getting specifically honey off of this, but a general sweetness that... It's relatively harsh. I'm getting sweetness, But yeah, it is closer to like a caramel or a vanilla than a honey sweetness. It just doesn't have that sticky, more subtle sweetness that honey typically does. And I know it's somebody mentioning that they knew someone who was getting a hint of cinnamon flavor in this. And I think what's happening there, because I can see it, is that the harshness of the bourbon is actually somehow intermingling with the sweetness. So towards the tail end, like after you swallow, and you get that slight wash of the alcohol coming back up, not like, you know, not badly, but as the slight burn of the alcohol comes through, it can lend a little bit of a cinnamony type flavor there, but it's not strictly cinnamon. I think it's just like the burn and the sweetness are making it seem like a cinnamon flavor. So I can kind of see it, but I'm not strictly getting cinnamon there. But you know, that's not to say that somebody else isn't, because everybody's palate is a little bit different. So you could be getting some distinct cinnamon there, but it's just I'm seeing something that could tend to be associated with cinnamon, but I'm not getting specifically cinnamon. All right, over-explain that, but as you get deeper into it, it seems to get further away from a honey flavor. So I can see what you guys are saying about that. And I really, really wish I had saved some of the original to be able to compare and contrast directly. But I can see where people are coming from, where this doesn't specifically jump right out and say honey. It seems to say more as vanilla or caramel or something else along those lines. Texture-wise, it's got a hint of sweetness to it, and a little bit of stickiness. It's not like sticky, but it's thick enough to give you that impression that it's like a sticky sweet. And it does linger on the lips. Like I keep licking my fucking lips and I'm getting into the sweetness. I can maybe even see like a butterscotch flavor in there. So who knows? Maybe the formulation of the honey liqueur that they used is different, and it moved away from the flavor of distinct honey flavor and just starts moving more into the territory where some of those other sweet flavors can overlap. And the alcohol burn is a bit harsh. Again, I'm working strictly off of memory here, but I seem to remember the original being very distinctly honey and being really smooth to the point where you didn't pick up on much of the burn. And that's probably whatever they did change in here is probably a combination of whatever alcohol is, the bourbon, it's Evan Williams bourbon, supposedly, is probably in the whatever honey liqueur they're using. If it was honey liqueur the first time and not like directly a honey flavoring or just flat out honey. So I'm assuming that's where the difference is coming, because Evan Williams is not necessarily like a huge top shelf bourbon, but it's a decent bourbon and they know how to make the same product consistently. So the Evan Williams part of this probably hasn't changed at all. It's got to be that other component that gives it the honey flavoring. And again, it's not distinctly honey anymore. It's something honey adjacent. I mean, it's still a decent drink. I can't find any real faults with it, but I definitely see what you guys are saying, where it doesn't taste like honey anymore. It doesn't leap out and say honey. It leaps out and says, hey, this is some sweet shit. Maybe it kind of tastes like honey, but maybe it's something else too. So yeah. I guess that's all I can really say about it. I mean, again, it's not bad. It's just it's not the same as it was if my memory serves me right. Thinking back on it, I remember saying, "This is honey, honey." The further I get into this glass, the harsher it gets. So yeah, I got to go back with. I highly suspect that whatever the difference is, it's in that honey liqueur that they're using. Maybe they went with a different supplier. Maybe they're making it themselves differently. Who knows? But that's got to be where the difference is. But you guys are right. It's not distinctly honey. All right. I said I was done over explaining and repeating myself, and then I went on and did it again. And by repeating myself here, I'm also demonstrating the same fucking point. Boy, I don't know when to shut up sometimes. But that's all I got. I think you guys got definitely got a point on this. I'd like to know more. But anyway, hit me up down below in the comments or the email link. Love to hear what you have to say about the video. While you're down there, don't forget to like and share the video. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Burping from whiskey. That's weird. And again, ooh. Ugh. The burps are gross. Once you've subscribed, click on that little bell icon up there so you get a notification whenever I post a new video. Until next time, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.